chapter 4, verse 1 and 2, saying that financial forgiveness. Hey there. Welcome to the Radical Godly Stewardship podcast. This is the first podcast of the new year. Happy New Year to each and every one of you. This is where heaven's economy collides with earth's assignments. I am your host, Dr. Lexi Johnson. I am your financial rebel, kingdom disruptor, and your accountability coach into obedience. And around here, we do not beg God for money. That's not what we do. We align, we obey, we produce, we multiply, and we dominate. And so, if you're ready to steward well, if you're ready to think boldly about your finances and build kingdom wealth, then you are in the right place. This is the year of unshakable peace. That's right, unshakable peace. And this is the year where we're going to have unshakable peace in our finances. And that starts with leveling up our stewardship game, right? Getting better at being a steward of the resources that Yah has put in front of us. So, again, this is episode 56, and I have titled this It's a New Year and time to up level in stewardship, something like that. Okay. But today, just welcome again. Tag someone in the comments or share this out. Let them know that we're here. If 2025 taught us anything in the area of finances, it has taught us that economic noise is only getting louder. Okay. Economic noise is only getting louder. Hey, by the way, let me know if you're here watching live or whether you're watching the replay, right? Just say something in the comments, a hello or something, right? You're in my house, say something. I would appreciate it if you did. I don't want to force you, but I would appreciate it if you did, so that I can acknowledge you. All right. So, as I said, 2025 taught us that the economic noise is just getting louder. Tax laws shifting, new savings initiatives emerging, tariff proposals circulating, and deadlines for tax planning fast approaching, right? So today we're going to unpack several key developments that could shape the financial landscape for you and your future generations in this year and beyond, right? And so how in 2026 can we think kingdom rather than thinking worldly when it comes to our finances? Today, we're going to talk about the Trump accounts, okay? Save the savings initiatives for children. I've talked about these before. A few months ago, I talked about these, but I want to bring that back to your attention. We're also going to talk about the proposed $2,000 tariff dividend payments. We are also going to talk about how stimulus style payments tend to benefit investors more than they do spenders. And we're also going to talk about what you should do now to prepare to file taxes this year. Okay. That's all. That is everything that we're going to talk about in this episode. Now, before we get into our stewardship check in, here is a word from our sponsor, a short word, and we'll be right back. Calling all book clubs. It is time for a conversation that goes deeper than fiction. Stop Begging God for Money is the book your group didn't know it needed. Whether you're reading for growth, healing, or financial strategy, this kingdom-centered guide brings bold truth, step-by-step action, and spirit-led revelation. Discounts are available for bulk book club orders. Email support@mm4h.life to get your club started today. Let's turn your book club into a financial breakthrough circle. All right. Welcome back to the Radical Godly Stewardship Podcast. I am Dr. Lexi Johnson, and today we are talking about up-leveling your stewardship. Yes, that's what we're talking about. It's a new year. It's a good time to just kind of, one of the good times we can hit a reset button because, of course, you can hit a reset button at any time, right? But the new year is a great time to do that. And so before we get into all that we're talking about today, as usual, we I want to do our stewardship check in. I want to do our stewardship check in. All right. Feel free to, you know, chat in the comments, ask questions as we go through today's episode. Okay. If you have any questions, feel free. All right. So, stewardship check in. Here are 3 questions that I want you to ask yourself today and throughout the week. Are you still reacting to the economy, or are you positioning yourself ahead of it? Are you still reacting to the economy, or are you positioning yourself ahead of it? That's question number 1. Number 2, are you training your eyes toward long term growth or short term comfort? Are you training your eyes toward long term growth or short term comfort? And number 3, are you thinking about wealth as something that works for you or something that merely comes to you? All right. So, your answers to these questions are going to determine your financial posture for 2026 and beyond. So, that first question, are you still reacting to the economy, or are you positioning yourself ahead of it, is extremely important. If you are coming into 2026 and you are still reacting, I am begging you, hey, hit that reset button now, right? And start to think ahead and start to up level your stewardship. That means getting in your word, finding out what God says about this resource called money. What are we supposed to be doing with it? How can you align your finances with the word of God? um, and how can you be more tuned in to the Holy Spirit so that the Spirit can help you to stay ahead of the game, right? So the Spirit can help you to position yourself, lead you, and guide you to um, any new knowledge that you should be seeking this year as it relates to your finances, right? That second question, are you training your eyes toward long term or short term comfort? Listen, as humans, it is not unusual for us to be focused more on our short term comfort. What do I need right now? What do I want right now? Versus, playing the long term game. And I am going to encourage you, highly encourage you, that this year and beyond, that you begin to play the long-term game. It does not mean that you ignore short-term stuff, but start to think long term. And you're going to begin to do this if you know and understand your purpose. You're going to begin to do this if you have um, kingdom goals that are set for your finances and for your life in general. So when those things will start to help you look at things more in long-term growth. This is a period of time where people are preparing, to file taxes, and then they're thinking and dreaming about all the big purchases they're going to make, like cars and flat screens and all of the things. And I am imploring you that this year, let it be different. This year, think about your long term growth versus your short term comfort. Okay. In our next episode, I'm going to talk specifically about I'm going to give you some tips on what to do with your income tax when it comes in. Okay. All right. Great afternoon to you too, Ernestine. Good to see you. So, that was the second question. And then the third was, are you thinking about wealth as something that works for you or something that merely comes to you? Now, listen, some of us have got into, saying all these fancy affirmations, right? And one of the ones that most annoys me is that money flows to me affirmation. That annoys me to no end because money doesn't flow to you unless you are stewarding it well, number one. And number two, you don't want it merely to just flow to you. You want it to work for you. And there is a difference, okay? Money can come to you, but if you don't steward it well and do the right things with it, it will not work for you. And the truth is, as kingdom citizens, we are supposed to be masters of our money, masters of any resource that God gives us. All right. Hey, sis, good to see you. Happy New Year to you as well. Thank you for joining me today. All right, so let's get into our Kingdom Clarity segment. Here, I'm going to talk about some tax laws and saving initiatives that we need to just have our eyes open to. Okay. And I want to start out by talking about these Trump accounts for children. There is a new savings vehicle authorized by the 2025 tax law, which was the so called One Big Beautiful Bill Act. Now, here, I don't care which way you voted for the president or not, it does not matter. I just like to bring out the things that are going to impact us financially, right? And so if you have given birth or you have a new grandchild, okay, that made an appearance in 2025, or you have one that is on the way, you want to keep your eye on these Trump accounts, okay? So this is a savings that has been established for children born in 2025 and through 2028. And parents, guardians, and other authorized individuals, which could mean you, if you are a grandmother like me. Okay, I'm not a grandmama, though. I'm a Mimi, but I'm a grandmother. But anywho, you can establish a new type of tax deferred savings and investment accounts for your children. Okay. That is what they're calling these Trump accounts. So here's what you need to know about this. The Trump accounts, like I said, are tax deferred investment accounts for children under 18, born between 2025 and 2028. Okay. Any US citizen child that is born between that time frame with a valid social security number is eligible for the one-time government seed contribution of $1,000. So not only can you open this account, but the government is going to put in $1,000 into that account. Okay. Now, how do you establish this? How, because this is not something that is just going to be automatic, right? This is not, oh, I had a baby, so I guess the government will see that and they'll open the account for me. No, that's not how that will happen. And I want to make sure you know this because most people will not take this step to activate it. So, how do you activate it? How do you establish it? What you will do is you will use IRS form 4547. Okay. Again, that's IRS form 4547. And that is the Trump account elections form. And you will use that when so the best time is really when you're doing your taxes, right? But you can also access that form outside of taxes. But since we're in that period and you're going to be filing taxes, then file it with your taxes, okay? When you file your 2025 federal tax return, you can establish that account using that form and request the government seed contribution. Remember, none of this is going to be automatic, okay? So write this down, put it on your calendar, put it in your notes in your phone or whatever, put it several places so that you remember at tax time to get that form, IRS form 4547, and fill it out completely so you can establish the account and request the $1,000 seed from the government. Okay. Um, you can also contribute to it. You and other authorized people in your family can contribute to this fund. In fact, you can contribute, or this investment rather, you can contribute up to $5,000 per year. My advice to you is to make that contribution every year, $5,000. Okay. Now, you may not be able to make it yourself, but like I said, the whole family, right, can contribute to this. When they send the money to you and you put it in, or I don't know if they'll have a way where it can be, because some other like college accounts and things like that have a way where people can contribute directly to it on the behalf of your child. So know that though, you can contribute up to 5,000 per year. I would encourage you to max that out for the first 3 years, contribute that $5,000. The other nice thing about this Trump account is that you can take this money, you can invest it in other things in the market. Um, Now, I don't have all of the specifics on that. Okay. So you will need to make sure that you read the specifics on that. But you can do that. And that is great because that is just more opportunity for this money to grow. And literally, by making those contributions 3 years in a row, maybe even beyond, that child can be set before they even start college. Okay. It is definitely a possibility. So if you have a child or a grandchild or a great grandchild that was born in 2025, will be born in 2026, or you happen, down the line, there is any child born between 2025 and 2028 that is a US citizen with a valid social security number is eligible for this account. Okay. The funds grow tax deferred. I'm just saying this over and over so you get it. Um, they are going to invest that money in broad US equity index funds until the child reaches adulthood, and that's going to be great. When the child reaches adulthood, then the standard IRA distribution rules are going to apply. We're not talking about IRAs today. We'll probably talk about those another day, but you can research yourself what the IRA distribution rules are. Okay, so yes, Form 4547, it is real. And while it's still in draft and final guidance phases, when tax times come, you're going to be able to fill it out. That is how you secure the $1,000 seed deposit and open that tax advantage account for eligible children. Okay. This is a generational wealth tool. Okay. It's not a rebate. This is a generational wealth tool. So here's another thing that I am going to warn parents, grandparents, and whomever is opening these accounts on behalf of your children. Do not bury the $1,000 in a regular savings. Do not blow it on consumption. Use it for long term growth. Okay. Treat it like a kingdom inheritance because it is. All right. Okay. The next thing that I want to talk about is this $2,000 tariff dividend proposal. Okay. Now, the first thing that I want to say about it is that it's not guaranteed. It is not guaranteed yet. Okay. There's been a lot of chatter about it. I think people are, there's been a lot of chatter about it. And I think people think that it's like actually a thing yet, and it's not. There's just been talk. Okay. So there has been nothing yet that has locked this in. All right. So that's the first thing that I want you to know. Now, um, many analysts note that tariff revenues might not even fully cover the cost of such a payment, and design details of this thing are uncertain. So, if there was not enough made in tariff dividends, okay, since the tariffs have been instituted, then if they're going to give these dividends out, they're going to have some decisions they have to make. Is it going to be is it going to be less than $2,000? Or are they going to put certain criteria in place so that not everyone is going to get the $2,000, right? All of these things, I think, are things that they are discussing at this point in time. So, why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because some of us have a tendency to wait on some things that may or may not ever come to fruition. Okay. Don't wait or hope for external checks to change your God ordained financial strategy. All right. Some of you have been listening, all of these $2,000 checks or whatever that may be coming, and you have already made plans for that $2,000. And they haven't even locked it in yet. Okay. So build an internal kingdom of wealth ahead of stimulus. That means you're not waiting on that $2,000. If it comes, great. If it doesn't come, great, because you are locked in on the plan that you have established to build kingdom wealth, and you're not waiting on government or anybody else promising increases in checks and such to you. Okay. Payments from the government should be seen as opportunities to invest wisely. And that is another thing that we're getting ready to talk about here more in depth, because typically what happens is when people get these payments from the government, um, stimulus checks and these types of stimulus, like this dividend, tariff dividend is kind of a type of stimulus. It's not a direct stimulus check. When people get these things, they just blow them. Okay. So you should see this, if it comes to fruition, as an opportunity to invest wisely. These are not substitutes, okay, for your personal stewardship, your ongoing, your daily stewardship. All right. So let's talk about these stimulus types of checks, stimulus checks, all of these things, and who they really benefit. Okay. Because you think that you're the beneficiary because you received the check, right? I, that's what you're thinking. But you are not the beneficiary. Okay. The reason why they put stimulus checks out, the reason why there's talk of this, dividend, tariff dividend, and all of that, the reason why they're putting money into your hands, checks, rebates, dividend proposals, baby accounts, whatever the case may be, the reason why they put it in your hands is because they know you're going to spend it. They know you are going to spend it. And they tell you this is not anything secretive. They tell you it's a stimulus check because it's going to stimulate the economy, not you, the economy. Okay. Meaning business, right? So you're going to go buy groceries, you're going to buy gifts, you're going to pay some bills, you're just going to consume. Okay. You might use it as a down payment on a car. You might go get a laptop or some other big purchase item. They know you're going to just go spend it. Okay. So, what is going on from an economic standpoint? Well, increased consumer spending helps revenue for businesses. It helps revenue for businesses. Now, why is that important? It's important because businesses will then report higher earnings. Well, why is that important? That's important because investors are the one who actually benefit from the businesses reporting higher earnings. That means their stock prices will go up, dividends, payouts will be larger, their asset values are going to rise. So the true benefactor, beneficiary rather, of a stimulus check is an investor. You got me? Are we clear? Okay. The true beneficiary of a stimulus check is not the person who receives the check or any stimulus type checks. You are not the beneficiary. You might think so because they're like, oh, they're giving me this money, but you're not the beneficiary because that money, unfortunately, most of the time will not stay with you. You're going to go spend it. And so the true beneficiaries are investors. Now, even though I'm telling you this, right? Even though I'm telling you this, majority of you, when it comes, you're still going to go spend it. You're not going to do what I asked you to do. Okay. So I'm asking you not to spend it. I'm asking you to invest. And why am I asking you to invest? So that you can benefit from all the other folk out there who's going to go spend it. All right. Because that's exactly, if I'm ever in a position to receive these types of checks, that's what I'm doing. Okay. I am going to invest it so that I can reap the harvest of everybody else just spending. And despite the year after year after year after year of myself and other people in personal finance space, business finance space, and other people, the money podcast telling you, hey, don't just go blow this. Majority of you will do it anyway. All right. But as kingdom citizens, this is a wake up call. We shouldn't just receive stimulus. We, like I said, must invest it wisely so that the money that comes in, okay, multiplies, because that is the mandate. We are to produce and we are to multiply, not dissipate, not have it disappear. And then a couple of weeks from now, you don't even know what the heck you did with it. Right. So please, I am kindly imploring you that if these dividend checks come to fruition, and if you happen to be a beneficiary of one, that you would do the right thing and you would invest it so that you can multiply what has been given to you. Okay. When you go out and you just spend it, blow it, even for your taxes, right? Or just anytime you get this some type of lump sum money, when you just go out and spend it and blow it, you are fattening the pockets of somebody else. It's the bottom line. We have spent so much of our lives fattening the pockets of other people. Okay. So it's time that we as kingdom citizens, we fatten our own pockets. But listen, fattening our own pockets isn't about our own selfish gain. It is so that we can do more for the kingdom. It is so that we can expand our territory. It is so that we can begin to determine what the answers will be to a lot of the social justice issues we have, to a lot of whatever other the economic issues, the whatever other issues that are occurring, hunger, all of that stuff. When we are able to multiply as kingdom citizens, then we can determine how those problems are handled. And of course, as kingdom citizens, we can handle them according to the word of God. Okay. So we need way more kingdom citizens up leveling their stewardship in this year and beyond. Okay. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about today is tax prep and what you should do. Okay. The filing for the 2026 tax year, and you're going to file for 2025, that season officially begins in late January 2026, right? Ends in April, typically. Most of the IRS e-filing systems are going to open around mid to late January. So it is wise to get prepared now, okay, so that your return is completed as early as possible. Okay. Y'all, when they open up, when that first day opens where you can get on and e-file and all that, I am in there because my stuff is prepared and it is waiting. Now, and if I can't, even if I can't submit it on that first day, I have it, it's waiting, because sometimes you're waiting on, tax documents that you need from other entities, like um, companies you invest with, or maybe you're still waiting on a W 2 if you work a 9 to 5, or you're waiting on 1099s and things like that, right? But you can get together what you can get together. And when that door opens, you can already have all of that stuff inputted and then just be waiting on whatever else you need to wait for. And then you can have your stuff in early as opposed to scrambling before the deadline. Okay. So, what can you do? Because it is wise to prepare, right? So, what can you do to prepare right now? Well, you can begin to organize your W 2s and your 1099s. You can begin to organize, or you can begin to write out the deductions you plan to take, okay? Whether they're charitable, medical, business, you need to start looking into that, right? Any interest statements, gather those things together, any property tax documentation. Gather those things together. Any retirement account contributions, gather that stuff together. Listen, you have been filing taxes, some of us, year after year after year after year. If you're listening to me, typically my audience is, between um late 30s, early 40s and up, right? So you've been filing taxes for some time now. So you're not new to the stuff that you're going to need. What I'm asking you to do is to just get all of that stuff together now. The other thing that you want to do is to review new tax law changes, okay? So the new law changes in deductions, in credits, savings vehicles that are going to affect your 2025 returns. Okay. Okay. And for those of you, when we were talking about those Trump accounts, you can review that too. Okay. So review the new tax law changes so that you understand what's going on. um, Check the child tax credit info. Okay. The child tax credit was increased and indexed to inflation. Okay. I believe I talked about this last year as well, sometime during the fall, but go back and review. Um, Go and check it out. Go review that, right? The child tax credit, though, only applies to US citizens or qualifying residents. Okay. Plan for long-term accounts. So if you're thinking of establishing a Trump account that we were just talking about earlier in the show, do it when you file your 2025 return, because that is going to get the ball rolling for your July 2026 deposit. Okay. The deposit of that seed fund. Also, generally you can contribute to your IRAs, your Roth IRAs, and things like that. You can contribute during this tax season and still have it count for 2025. All right. So you want to think through that. Do you need to offset some of your taxes? So this might be a great time for you to put an extra amount in your retirement accounts. All right. Consider investing your excess funds. So, and this is what I was just talking about in terms of, putting money into your retirement accounts. But rather than leaving stimulus or tax refunds in a low yield account, align with your long-term investing strategy. Okay. Now, some of you may actually need to take some of that money and actually put it in a high yield savings account because you have no emergency funds whatsoever. Okay. I've talked about emergency funds before. I won't be talking about them today, but if you do not have one, that is your first priority. Okay. Can you get your first 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 in an emergency fund? Okay. A high yield savings account. So approach your taxes before the deadline, not at the deadline. Okay. Obedience and preparation is going to save you a lot of stress, and it's going to be open doors for you to be more strategic in your financial moves. All right. So I hope you all are hearing me and that you're going to actually up level your stewardship this year by preparing for your taxes so that you can file them as soon as possible and you're not scrambling. Okay. Near deadline. All right. So, what are your action steps for this week as we wrap up? Number one, if you have children born between 2025 and 2028, research those Trump accounts and be ready to file Form 4547 with your 2025 tax return. Number two, gather your tax documents and start a checklist for filing. Number three, review your investment mindset. Are you saving or are you investing? Because there is a difference between the two. Okay. Saving is just saving. And oftentimes, just saving does not keep up with inflation. So you are actually losing in spending power. Investing is multiplication, and it helps you to keep up with inflation, and it helps you to, stay ahead in terms of spending power. Kingdom stewardship demands multiplication, not stagnation. That is what Genesis 1:28 says. Produce, multiply, dominate. Okay? Now, if you want a kingdom financial strategy that helps you move from living for checks to building wealth, then financial rebellion is for you. This is my 90-day financial coaching experience that doesn't just teach about budgeting. Oh no, it is more than that. It is not just budgeting. It is not your basic financial literacy stuff. Okay, you will learn how to invest with purpose. You will learn how to prepare intentionally. You're going to learn how to think generationally. Goodness, if I can't talk in 2026, okay? You are going to learn how to think generationally and so much more. The doors are open now. And in this season of economic change, I don't want you to have any excuse not to join. In fact, at the end of last year, so meaning yesterday at 11:59 p.m., I was actually supposed to raise, put the price back to normal, which would have been like $3,400. But for some reason, I'm just not, the Holy Spirit is just not leading me to do that. It is still $249. That's it. For 12 weeks, 90 days. Okay. Where can you get that at? All right. So I don't want anyone to have any excuse. Join Financial Rebellion, bit.ly/ join the rebellion 2026. I think that it's in the notes, but I am not sure. So let me just take a moment here and put the link in the chat. I would think I put it there. I know I put some links there. Here we go. No, I put some links there. No, I'm hoping I put that one there. But if not, here it is in the chat. Okay. You can learn all about it there and you can join. Now, we do have a limited number of seats. Half the seats are already taken. This starts officially, it starts in March. But guess what? Our cohort 3 participants have already started working. In fact, today we start our 14-day fast, which you don't have to be a part of Financial Rebellion to be part of the fast. The fast is free. There's a guide that comes along with that. That link I know for sure I put in the description. And so you can join us for this 14-day fast where we're going to be seeking God for peace in our finances, not increase. We ain't asking him to, give us money. We're asking him to show us how to have peace in our finances. And he's going to show us how to do that by becoming better stewards. But what fasting will do is allow us to be in a position to hear him, to hear his instructions to each of us, because the instructions for each of us may be different. Okay. So our cohort 3 participants will be part of that fast. They have received a book, my book, Stop Begging God for Money, which came as a part of that, that they are reading and preparing for March. So they're already on their way. Okay. So you don't want to wait till March to join the cohort because they're already working. All right. Because when you join and you wait till March to join, you're kind of going to be behind, even though it's just getting started. I know it don't make sense, but that's what it is. Right. So don't wait. All right. bit.ly/ join the rebellion 2026. If this is not for you at this time, or you're good with where you're at financially, or whatever the case may be, whatever reason, this is just not good for you at this time. Like I said, you can join us for the fast, or you can also purchase my book. All those links are in the description. You can purchase my book, Stop Begging God for Money, at authorlexijohnson.com. Everybody, everywhere can always use, okay, reminders or strategy and all that to get better in our finances. All right. Kingdom citizens, we don't wait for money to come to us. No, we make money work for our future. All right. Well, that is it. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. You had some things that you can take away, some things that you can share with others. In fact, share this episode out, tag somebody in the comments so they too can be prepared and get ready to uplevel their stewardship in 2026 and beyond. I hope to see you all in some shape, form, or fashion, whether it's participating in the fast or whether it's becoming a part of Financial Rebellion, or even just joining my Facebook group, Money Mastery, number 4, her. Um, I hope to continue to see you throughout 2026. God bless. We'll see you next time. Remember to produce, to multiply, and dominate.